Hello everyone, welcome back to the physics lecture. So in today's video, we will study the Huygens theory of double refraction. Okay, so in this theory, we will see the Huygens explained the phenomenon of double refraction by extending his theory of secondary wavelength in a suitable manner. Okay. So, in a Huygens, he explained the phenomenon of what? Double refraction. By the what? Extending the theory of a secondary wavelength, and it's suitable to certain manner, and according to his theory, he given certain points. Okay, one by one we will see the points. So here first point. Every point on the crystal surface is distributed by the incident wavefront and becomes the origin of two wavefronts, the ordinary and other extraordinary ray. So according to his theory, the first point is what? They explain the double refraction. So already we know that what is the double refraction means? We are incidenting a beam of light. So we are keeping a crystal. After incidenting that beam of light to a crystal, what happened? We are getting two types of wave. One is what? Ordinary ray. We are getting the rays of light. So one is ordinary ray and second one is a extraordinary ray. So we can call this as a secondary wavelength. So he explained in this first point. Okay. So this we complete our first point of the Huygens theory. Next, see here the second point. The ordinary ray always obeys both the law of refraction. So next he explained the first ordinary ray. So already we know that the ordinary ray which obeys the what? Law of refractions. So they given the ordinary ray always obeys both the law of refraction. Next, the refractive index of the crystal N0 is given by. Next, they given the refractive index of the crystal. So N0 equal to what? Sin I by sin R0, or this is equal to velocity in air or vacuum divided by velocity of O ray. That is equal to, we can write V by V0. So what is the V here? Here V is nothing but what? Velocity of, so here, velocity of air, and next velocity of the O ray. Okay, so here he explaining the first which ray? O ray means the ordinary ray. The ordinary ray is what? Always obeys both the law of refraction. That's why we are taking here N0 equal to sin I by sin R0. And that is equal to, we can write V by V0. So V is velocity in air and V0 is the velocity of ordinary ray. So see here, it is thus independent of the direction of its propagation within the crystal. So here what happened? Whatever the propagation is there, that propagation of the direction of the wave is independent. Okay. So this is only possible if V0 is the velocity of O wave is same as in all direction. Okay. So it is independent, but it is possible when whatever the velocity of the ordinary ray is there, that is same in all direction. Okay, this explained by the whom? Huygens. Okay, this is the explanation of the which ray? O ray means ordinary ray. Okay, next we'll move to the extraordinary ray. So see, the E ray does not obey the ordinary law of refraction. Means here ordinary ray what? Which obeys the law of refraction, but extraordinary ray does not obey the law of refraction. Next here, the ratio sin I by sin R for extraordinary ray has value. So whatever the sign they given here, whatever the ratio they given here, sin I by sin R, it has certain value, which varies with the direction of its propagation relative to the optic axis. In the direction of the propagation, that can be vary with respect to what? Optic axis. Okay, here first point is what? It does not obey the law of refraction. But next thing, they given certain ratio, that is sin I by sin R. Sin I by sin R means the sine of angle of incident by the sine of angle of refraction. So that ratio for the extraordinary ray has what? A certain value. That's why which can be vary with the what? Which axis? Optic axis. Next here, continuation of the this part only. The velocity of extraordinary ray is same as that of ordinary ray. So whatever the velocity is there for extraordinary ray, it is same as for the what? Ordinary ray. Okay. So next point is what? Velocity of extraordinary ray is same as the ordinary ray along the optic axis. Main point, which axis? Along the optic axis, the velocity is same and differ most of these value in a direction perpendicular to optic axis. And next what happened? Velocity is same in the what? Optic axis, but it may be differ. Means here velocity is not same when whatever the wave is there, that is perpendicular in, that is propagate in a perpendicular direction. So we can write the wave front. Which wave front? E wave front. The E wave front is therefore not spherical. It is not spherical, but it is what? Ellipsoid in nature. Okay, this explained by the what? Third point by the Huygens of the extraordinary ray. So here the extraordinary ray does not obey the what? Which law? Law of refraction. Next, whatever the ratio they given, sin I by sin r, it has certain values, but which can be vary with the what? Relative propagation in which axis? Optic axis. Okay. Continuation means it is both having the velocity on the optic axis, but when propagating in a perpendicular direction, it has the different velocities. Okay, next, thus we can conclude here our E ray is ellipsoidal in nature, but the O rays is what? Spherical in nature. Okay, these explain the third point. Who explain this? Huygens for the double refraction. Okay, we'll move to the fourth point. See here, the property of the uniaxial crystal are perfectly symmetrical about the optic axis. So here, whatever the property of the uniaxial crystals are there, that is what? Perfectly symmetrical in nature. Symmetrical about the optic axis, which will be what? Same. Symmetry is nothing but same about the what? Optic axis. Hence, E ray means this is a E ray. E ray is nothing but extraordinary ray, is a propagate with equal velocity in direction which are equally inclined to a optic axis. So uniaxial crystal having the same symmetry with respect to optic axis. That's why what happened? Our ordinary ray propagate with the equal velocity. Okay, equal velocity in direction of what? Equally inclined to the optic axis. Thus, ellipsoid of revolution is symmetrical about the optic axis through the point of origin of the wavelet. So we can conclude here by these explanation, our E ray is what? Ellipsoidal. So the ellipsoidal revolution is what? Symmetry about the what? Optic axis. Where it is symmetry means in the optic axis. So through the point of the origin of the wavelet. So whatever the wavelet is starting from that point to there, that will be what? Ellipsoidal and having the same symmetry on the optic axis. Okay, we'll move to the last point. See here, fifth one. As velocity of A ray is equal to the velocity of O ray along the optic axis. So here we know that the velocity of E ray and the velocity of O ray means extraordinary ray velocity and ordinary velocity. What happened? Both are same. In where? Optic axis. So next, uniaxial crystal do not show double refraction along the optic axis. So if we take the uniaxial crystal, it does not show the refraction, double refraction at what? Optic axis. Okay, so your first point is the velocity of ordinary ray and the extraordinary both are same. But in the optic axis, whatever the uniaxial crystal is there, that doesn't show the what? Double refraction. Means we are not getting the ordinary ray and extraordinary ray. So see, thus two wavelets touch each other at a point with the optic axis. through the point of origin after the wavelength intersects. So here whatever the wavelets are there, two wavelets that can be touched other at a one point. So one point where in the optic axis through the point of the origin after the wavelet intersect. So here whatever the two waves there that can be intersect at a origin, that time it may be produce the double refraction by taking the water uniaxial crystal on a optic axis. Okay, this is the fifth point. So here we conclude that last, according to the Huygens, each point doubly refracting surface become the source of two wavefront, O ray wavefront and E ray wavefront. The O ray wavefront is a spherical ray wavefront, E ray wavefront is a ellipsoidal of revolution about the optic axis. So here what we are concluding means, whatever the Huygens taking the double refraction means taking one crystal and passing a beam of light producing a two waves, that is double refraction, production of water E wave and the O wave. That is what, in that here we are getting our O ray as spherical in shape and our E ray ellipsoidal in a shape on a wave optic axis. So the two wave surface touch along the extremities of optic axis through the point of origin. So both the surface are a plane polarized. So we can conclude here by this all explanation, whatever we are getting the two waves, that two waves the light will be plane polarized, or whatever the surface are there, that is the water plane polarized. Okay, so this explained Huygens by taking the water double refraction. Okay, here we'll end this video. Okay, thank you.